Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Kat's Kitchen, your favorite cooking show where the host doesn't have a clue what she's doing. It's a pretty special show we got here. Today we're going to be making something that has been requested since the very dawn of Kat's Kitchen, and that is Karelian pasties. Now, what is a Karelian pasty, or Karjalanpiirakat, as it's called in Finnish, karelsk pirog in Swedish? Karelian pasties are something that you can have, for instance, as a little snack. You can have it for breakfast, you can have it with coffee, you can have it with tea. It's very good with tea. You can basically have it at any time of day. It's just a little salty snack. Now, before we go on this journey together, I would like to disclose two things. First of all, I've never done these before. So this is yet another one of these episodes where we learn together. Secondly, my grandmother is from Karelia. So I feel like genetically, I should be able to pull this off somehow. I don't know if that's how it works in practice, but here's hoping. As always, let's start by looking at what ingredients you're gonna need. I mentioned rice porridge, so you're obviously gonna be needing some porridge rice. I think you should also be able to use some kind of chunky risotto rice and definitely rice pudding rice, if there's such a thing in your country. Then you're gonna need some full-fat milk for the rice porridge. Next up, you're gonna need some rye flour and also some regular flour. You're also gonna need a little bit of vegetable oil, and lastly, a little bit of salt and some water as well. Now, the reason why Karelian pasties are a little bit of a pain to make, or let's say it just takes a lot of effort, and that is because you actually have to make the rice porridge in advance. So I made this yesterday. I haven't filmed how I did it because it was very simple. Obviously, I've made this video before where I show you how to make this kind of porridge. This was an even simpler version of it. This was literally just 7.5 deciliters of full-fat milk, heat it up in a pan, and then you put 2 deciliters of porridge rice, and you let it boil for about 20 to 30 minutes. I hope mine isn't too sticky. It is supposed to be quite sticky and not like fully... It's not supposed to be a ready-made porridge. The rice should be about like half cooked, apparently. So, well, we'll see. But yeah, so that's done already. So now what we need to do is make the actual dough. And for that, I'm gonna mix 2.5 deciliters of the rye flour with 1 deciliter of the regular flour, and I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna mix those ingredients together, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of water, about 1.5 deciliters. And then lastly, I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of the oil and then mix it all together. Now the dough looks like that. I've washed my hands, I've taken my rings off. So now I think I'm just gonna have to get in there with my hands and knead this, and I'm gonna use some extra rye flour to be able to roll this out. So I'm gonna need a rolling pin. I should have mentioned that in the beginning. It's kind of a prerequisite for making these. But yeah, let's get in there and see what we can do. Ooh, let's see if you can see anything from there. So now I've rolled the dough out. I wonder if I've made it too thick, because it's supposed to be 16 of these little pasties, but I don't know. I don't know how to get it more, like, what kind of power do you need to have? No, I'm done. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this plastic tub to make little round shapes or something. Woo! That worked out pretty well. I'm just gonna do as many as I can, and then I suppose just as when you make gingerbread cookies, you can just reuse the leftover dough. All right, not too bad. I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm probably gonna get a couple of more from these. This tub is a little bit bigger than what they said. I think you're meant to use something like that for it to be 16 pasties, but I'm fine with a little bit bigger ones. Ooh, now would probably be a good time to turn on the oven. 300 degrees. Yikes. At this stage, I could probably also add that, as with anything, there are a million different recipes or ways of doing the Karelian pasties. So this might not be the way that your grandmother used to make them. I don't think it's the way my grandmother would make them, but this was just a recipe that I found online that I liked, and then I've kind of made some adjustments and improvisations along the way. Oh wow, that feels really sticky. Okay, I'm gonna put some rye flour on this baking tray because apparently you can't use baking paper because it might start to burn because the oven's gonna be so hot. So you use a little bit of flour instead so that they don't get stuck. I mean, that would be just my luck, wouldn't it? And also if they started to burn, that would be very me, wouldn't it? Quite sticky. So maybe I could use just a sprinkling still of the rye flour. Ah, oh, I see. Then when they're that small, it's much easier to roll them out. I know what you're thinking. I could probably use a little bit of a bigger surface to work on, but I'm just so lazy that I couldn't be bothered setting up the camera somewhere else. There we go. Okay, I think this should be a little bit more like round, but we'll see. Let's start with these two and try. So I've got the rice porridge here waiting. I mean, this is trial and error here, kids. If I make at least 2 good ones, then I'll be happy. Here comes the tricky part. So we're gonna fold them up like that and like that. And then we're gonna press, 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 press. Good Lord, it actually kind of looks like something. What I've learned from this first one is that I could have definitely put more porridge in. But considering that was my first one, I'm kind of okay with that. So now, having learned from my mistakes, I know that I can put more porridge in there. Okay, and then we're gonna fold. And we're gonna, fold, don't get too excited there. And I'm just doing like a little, I don't even know what to call this. I'm just kind of crinkling it with my fingers. Second one, not the most beautiful thing I've seen, but hey, what is it that we always say about things that are homemade? They should look homemade. And yes, that philosophy works very well in my favor. A lot of the time.
A few minutes later.
All right, so the first tray of Karelian pasties are ready to go in the oven, I think. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much there. So I'm gonna pop them in the oven now and I'm gonna try to do one more batch and yeah, we'll see. I mean, this is definitely my favorite, this one here, which I think was the last one that I did, so makes sense. This is ridiculous. I don't know what that is. As always, just do as I say, not as I do. This is it. I'm scared. Ooh. Okay, they're in. I'm gonna put, oh, where am I? Yeah, I put the alarm for 10 minutes and then we'll see.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Okay, they are out from the oven. They've been in there for 12 minutes. They look a little bit pale, but what can you do? So now I'm just gonna, I've melted some butter. So now I'm just kind of brushing them with melted butter for shits and giggles, I guess. I don't know. And now I'm gonna take them off the hot thing. Ooh, I'm gonna put them on this, I don't know what this is called.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
No, I don't know, but I'm gonna put them there. Okay, let's see. Ooh, well, they certainly haven't gotten stuck. Thanks to the rye flour there. Wow. Quite proud of myself right now. But yeah, now I'm just gonna let those cool down. I've got a little bit of a project still here, as you can see, trying to make 5 more. Anyway, I'm gonna leave these to cool and then when Dave comes home, as usual, we'll do a little tasting. Here we have 2 of the finished products.
Finished products.
Oops, we did it again. This is from batch number 2, which I think looks so much better. This is batch number 1.
They both look perfect, which is a little bit of a surprise often when I'm in Kat's kitchen.
Should we try them? You
I'd
can
love
have
to.
you can have the second from the second batch because it's
Warm.
Yeah, it's still a bit warm. So I'm gonna just put some margarine on it. They've got butter already. I brushed them with butter. So
Fancy.
okay,
Smells good. Nice rustic look with the little
country style
burnt edges. No, but it looks great and smells wonderful.
Shall we?
Okay, cheers.
Cheers.
Well done. Really good. The
A bit too crunchy, but it said that they get softer with time.
tastes perfect. I can almost taste the rye a bit more in these, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Thickness is perfect of the thing. Lots of filling.
I mean, it definitely tastes right. Don't you think?
Yeah. Well done.
So that was it for this Cat's Kitchen video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Now I challenge all of you guys to make your own Karelian pasties and then send me pictures. Actually, my American friend Elle in New York made her own Karelian pasties not long ago. So I mean, if she can do it, I felt like I could do it, and then you guys can definitely do it too. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you again soon. Bye!
See ya.